Right here. Time zone joke!
Oh my god.
I like that you screamed that, and that was the first thing to start of the live stream. Oh, I didn't
mine
edit
just
the
started.
video. Should have
Uh-oh.
edited the video and like grayed out Kaz.
Yeah, I can't do it either. For
Do it later.
Yeah. Post-production shit.
Mm.
Which is me. I will do
So
that
just-
later.
Just so you lovelies know, Kaz will not be joining us today. Kaz had a last minute event.
Yep.
And just because it's nearing the end of the month and it's getting harder and harder,
Oh my god.
we just had to get the stream going.
The April has been an absolute goddamn nightmare planning out this podcast because
Yes.
the first week I was out on vacation, I was out. And because of that, they had me working the next Saturday to replace the one that I'm missing. So, first 2 weeks I'm out. And then, what was it? The third week, Jax was out. And then this week we're like, okay, everyone's fine, everyone's good, we can do it, we got this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then this morning.
Yeah. I blame spring.
Yeah.
I blame spring. As soon as it starts warming up and snow is kind of officially gone everywhere,
People want
everybody's like, we have to go do this stuff. But me, I'm the opposite. I'm like, oh, the sun's out. Nope. Close
Also-
those blinds.
little creatures staying inside.
Also, dear listeners, I have a cough, so if I don't talk or if I sound
That
like
was-
I'm then that is why.
He has the COVID.
No,
I
he
don't.
doesn't. No, he
I do
doesn't.
not. Stop spreading lies.
Fake news, actually.
I think I might have figured out what it is though.
What is it then?
I don't know. I was trying to go to
Figured it
bed.
out, I don't know.
No, I don't know what it is exactly. I was trying to go to bed last night, and I couldn't sleep because I was laying down, and then I was like, oh wait, this is a new feeling. My throat feels like it's closing up. I might be having some weird allergic reaction to nothing in my room. And the only two things that I could think are my cat probably got into something, and that's causing an allergic reaction because it always gets worse when I lay down in my bed. My cat's on my bed 24/7. There's also a weird red rash on the side of my cheek, which doesn't happen. I'm not allergic to anything, so
That
I
is
don't know what
alarming.
it... Yes, not a large alarming one. It's just I look close in a mirror and I'm like, oh, that is not there before. Or the fact that there is a lot of dust in this room. There's a lot of dust on my desk that I should probably clean. I didn't even think of that, but I told my sister this morning. She was like, when was the last time you cleaned? And I was like, probably a month ago. And she's like, and she was like, it's probably dusty in here. And I'm like, it is. She went, all right, well, bye. Going to work.
Have you also considered that perhaps with the addition of the rash that you might just be suffering from a fucking poltergeist?
It could be a ghoul.
Could be a ghoul making your throat itchy and also just like scratching at your cheeks.
It could be. He's like,
But does dust actually cause rashes? I know, like, cat dander and such does, and you can gain allergies as you grow up.
I know some people are allergic to dust.
I know
I
they're
would-
allergic to dust. I just don't think they.
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just trying to connect dots.
Connect dots. Maybe just wash like your bed sheets and then throw your cat in the
I did
washer
2
with
days
it.
ago.
The washer. Oh my god.
I washed my sheets literally 2 days ago because I thought that I was like, maybe it is that, and then I washed them 2 days ago and.
Could be your
nothing
detergent
I was
too.
about to say, are you allergic to the detergent? If you just no, because you've been suffering from this for a week, so it wouldn't work if you just did it 2 days ago. The timeline doesn't miss.
Close. Could
Hmm.
be. Did Ma get a different one? I'll see.
Yeah,
That's a
that
good.
could be it.
That's
'cause
a good question. Writing it
allergic to
down.
them, so.
List of possible things instead of just going to my doctor.
It's a whole journal of
You just
the
put
list of reasons
detergent,
why I'm dying.
Detergent.
ghouls, cat.
Ghouls? Question mark. Parentheses. Question mark. Cat? Question mark. Sun.
Sun. Parentheses vampire question mark.
1 out of 4 podcast number 2 question mark.
Can't say vampire because then Colin will roll over in the bed and pat it.
I like vampires.
Goodness.
Alrighty, we are
Alright.
about 5 minutes into this already.
Yeah.
Enough of the funny intro banter. What are we talking about today, gamers?
I don't know. Why don't you
Me dying.
introduce? I introduced last time.
You know what? Fair
It's
enough.
true.
All right. This week we're talking about dumb things we did as kids. This can
Mainly
range
fishing.
from- Mostly me. I was. I'll
fish
totally
skills.
own up and say I was a stupid kid. This could be just one-off events, or even just like a few things that it's like, oh, this is what I believed for a while. Like, just as long as you were young, and it was dumb, I'd consider that like grounds to talk about.
If I'm young spirited.
I thought about that because there's a lot of dumb things I've done, but I limited myself to only elementary school
Ah.
because otherwise the list gets longer.
We'd be here
Okay,
all
so-
day.
We'd be here all day.
So we're talking like middle school and below.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
I do actually legitimately have a list. I've been asking family members, hey, so like I have a few things down already. What do you think I should add to this? And they all had something to say. I have 13 things written down alone, and I'm sure
God.
more are gonna pop into my head as we keep talking. Because again, I'll totally admit to being a dumb fuck kid, but that's funny and it's also content, so it's worth it in the end. 20 years
Okay.
down the line, I can finally, use the fact that all these dumb things happened to me for my benefit.
Finally use it for clout.
Yeah, I can use it for clout.
Alright. So then how do we start this? Do we start it by going on the epic tale that is known as Fishy? Or do we go to like someone like me or Colin, like, hey, what was something you did? And we tell like our 1-sentence stories and then get to your finale.
Oh my god. Yeah, you guys
I
can
think
go
we
first.
can hop back and forth.
Yeah.
Good.
Who goes first?
I can
Rock, paper, scissors.
I can keep it simple. Here's an on-brand one that I think you guys will think is really funny. So my grandma lived in Utah, and sometimes I would go visit her, right? And
That was dumb.
Utah. End of story.
Utah
done.
story.
Go.
No, legit. My grandmother lived in. If you've ever seen Courage the Cowardly Dog, that was her
Yes.
house. Middle of actual
Middle of
bumfuck nowhere, like Utah. I loved going there. It was great. But also, if something happened out there, we were just done. I'll follow up with a separate thing after that. But first, the primary story. I went up there alone to spend time with my grandma and my grandpa, and they were teaching me how to fish. And like, oh, cool. I want to catch a fish. That's cool. That's epic. Very poggers. But that was cringe. Anyway, we ended up going to a friend's house, and they're like, okay, here's the fishing rod, here's the bait. Go down to the river by their house, go see if you can catch some fish. And I'm like, okay. So I run out, and I'm putting the bait on the hook, and I'm throw it out, and I wait, and I'm like, okay, nothing's happening. I need to reset. I grab the bait. I grab the hook. Dumbass puts the hook straight through my thumb, through the nail. And it didn't hurt. I didn't say anything. I didn't cry or anything. I kind of looked at it and went, oh no. And I hit it, like I have the fishing rod behind me, like I look like I'm just carrying it normally, but there's a fucking hook through my thumb. And I'm like, I'm gonna run back to the car real quick, I'm gonna grab more bait. And they're like, okay. And I just sprint back to the car, and as like unpainfully as I can, because I didn't feel a thing. And it was like the thing was the size of a needle, so it was fine. But I just take it out, put the bait on it, and then just walk back like nothing happened. There was no, you could not see a hole or anything. It like
my
you
God.
could not tell it happened because it was so small. But just I didn't say anything to anyone. And I didn't tell my grandma ever. She never learned because she's not around anymore. But she never learned that happened. And then when I told my mom about it, she got upset because she's like, "What? That happened? Why didn't you? What?" And I'm like, what are you gonna do? You gonna get mad at grandma? You can't. She's not here. You can't yell at her. But
that honestly kind of that sparked a story in my head that I had long since forgotten.
let's go.
I have one quick addendum to a thumb story.
Go
Thumb
for
story.
it.
I was like probably whenever I tell these stories, I'm like I was probably 5 or 6, but I'm like no, I was definitely older. I was definitely like 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
I was at my aunt's house. I used to do a lot of arts and crafts at my aunt's house. I had a tiny stapler. I stapled my thumb.
No. Oh no.
And I didn't notice it at first. I was just like, I was like, something doesn't feel right. And then I look down at my thumb and see that there's just a staple in it, and I just go, because I realize it, and like my aunt comes like running out of the bathroom, and she like pulls it out of me, and I just like sort of suck in my thumb, and I'm like, it feels better now.
Oh my
I like
God.
to imagine little Colin is toddling around and he's got like so many like pieces of paper stapled to him. He just doesn't understand why he feels weird.
I don't want to lose them.
I didn't have anywhere to put them.
I could hold at least 5 papers with this hand.
One for each finger.
Yeah.
Never lose track.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Is that how you're so organized? You just staple it?
Yes.
So back onto the fishing kind of stories. So this wasn't something I did. This is something my siblings did. So because as a child, I grew up very boring because my family, we lived in not a great neighborhood, so I didn't really get to go out and do anything. I played like video games most of my life. But at this one point, we went to Alabama. I know, already dumb. We went to go see my relatives. Also, already dumb. Well, we went fishing with them. We went to a cabin we were staying at. We went fishing with them. And my 2 older brothers that are from my mom's side, from her first marriage, were there, Josh and Mike. And I want to say I was about 4 at the time. And so we were in the boat and we're all trying to fish. There's no fish in the river. There's absolutely no fish in the river, except for like this one little guppy. And that thing ate our bait. It would just come around and eat the bait off the hook without touching the hook.
Little bastard.
Yeah, he was a little bastard. And so my brothers were getting frustrated, and I was sitting near my dad because he didn't want me to fall in because I wasn't good at swimming at the time.
Fair.
And so my sister and I are with him, and my brothers are in the other boat trying to fish. Well, Mike, no, it was actually Josh. Josh swings the fishing rod out, but it slips out of his hand and it goes straight into the water. And so my brother Mike looks to him, and he's like, "I'll get it." So he throws his after it. So it's 2 fishing rods that went into the water. And it's a little deep area. And my dad's like, "Boys, go get the fishing rods," because they weren't ours. They were from the cabin we were renting.
Yeah.
And my dad yelled at them, "Go get the fishing rods." So they dive out to go get the fishing rods. And they come up, they're like, "Dad, we can't find them." And my dad's staring, and he's like, "You just dove in and you had the oar across your lap. Now you don't have an oar either."
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Goodness.
So it's really tough trying to get those boats back. That was one of the dumb things I remember. But again, not something I did. But,
So
yeah.
just a quick follow-up before I roll into the next one. Just speaking about that, this is something dumb that happened when I was a kid. This was not my fault for once. So
Oh, yeah?
we went to go visit you know, my grandparents, who again live in bumfuck nowhere. I love them, but it's Courage the Cowardly Dog ass. And we drive up there and we say, okay, we're gonna stay with my aunt in Las Vegas, and then we're gonna drive up in the morning. And then mid-drive, my parents decide, oh, we're just gonna drive all the way there. We might as well. It's not that much. But they don't tell my grandparents that. So we arrive. Me, my sister, and my brother are all asleep in the back of the car. And they come up to the front door and they start knocking. And because my grandparents live in the middle of nowhere, their first response to somebody that they did not invite over knocking on their door is to grab a gun and get ready to defend their property. And so they see it. They can see my grandma holding
Totally
it.
normal response.
Yeah. Well, it's like, because again, who is gonna be out there? If there's gonna be like a murderer or, you know, someone who really shouldn't be there. Like, so I understand their first reaction. I understand their first reaction, but also I almost just became Batman. They had to like.
That's how you become Batman.
They threw their hands up and they're like, no, it's us. Like, we just came early, and they just stop and they lower the gun and they're just like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? They're just like,
Can you imagine? You would have been Fish Woman of California.
Oh my god. No.
Aquaman, eat your heart out.
God damn it. But just, I think about that sometimes, because that's funny. And they didn't tell us that happened until years later. Because they didn't want to freak us out. But when they told us, we were just like, that's hilarious. Oh, man. Yeah, why the fuck didn't you say anything to them, guys? Like, we blamed it. We were like, no, this is your guys' fault. They were just defending their house. But other thing I wanted to get into. So, Jax, we had a discussion before about a possible story for you, but you claim that this is not dumb, and I argue
it is not. It is not.
I argue that it is.
I want to save this for the end.
You want to save it for the end?
I will save this for the end, and I will argue about that, but I stand by it is not dumb.
Because the thing is, I have a counter because I have a similar story.
Okay, I have a story that is dumb on my part. So like I said, I stayed in my house pretty much most of my life, and that is very much why I'm introverted. I'm not saying that's the cause of it, but I very much am comfortable being home. Well, my dad, we had a really large porch when I was young, and my dad decided to build onto it and make a, like an extra back room to our house. And so this back room was still, you know, being built, carpets being laid down and whatnot. And there were nails on the ground, and my dad would tell me, don't go in the back. Well, you know me, I want to go in the back. So I would go back there, and I saw a nail on the ground. And I was like, oh, I'm going to pick it up and put it where it's supposed to go. And I'm looking, and I see an outlet.
No.
Well, you know, yeah, you see the little hole that's at the bottom? Please, children, do not do this. Oh. Yeah, the little hole that's at the bottom. I thought that's where the nail goes.
No.
You...
What I drew that as a joke. Are you telling me that you actually did it?
Yes.
Oh my god.
But I didn't do it with a fork. Yeah, no, I burnt my hand really, really bad, and I screamed and I cried, but I didn't tell my parents why. They just thought I was overreacting to something.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
I don't know how I'm alive.
It is a wonder you've lived this long.
You know what? I am dumb. I will admit that. I am not a smart person. That is why I am so invested in learning new things. I am in no way smart. But I love to learn things. And sometimes you learn things the hard way.
Sometimes trial and error. You learn through experience.
Also, please, please, please do not recreate some of these scenarios that we talk about, especially that one. Nails do not belong in outlets. They do not go in the little circular part on American plugs.
Hey, let them have their own story someday.
No.
Yeah, everyone needs a little clout.
Stop.
Everyone needs content.
Stop. But yeah, no, you drew that picture and I went, oh, Fishy, that's me. That's not you, that's me.
No. I in this picture.
Swear to
and I don't
God.
like it.
I'm
Oh
gonna
my
get a piece
God.
of art back from you or Colin where it's your art, but like my head slapped on it.
Oh my God, just someone does the Photoshop. So speaking, like, if we want to, so a running theme with a lot of the dumb things I did as a kid, you'll notice that my father is involved in a lot of it, and I love him. He was great. He provided me with content for years to come, like this one specifically. And both of you have heard this one because it's one of my favorite ones to tell. I played softball as a kid.
Yay!
Yeah, you know where I'm going already.
I was about to ask.
You know what's about to happen, and so does literally anyone that knows me. I played softball as a kid. My dad was my coach, and he had this great idea for sliding practice to do it on a slip and slide. We did it on the actual softball fields at first, but then they got really mad at us because it absolutely trashed the field, like the grass, and they're like, "You can't do this here." So we go to a friend's house. They have like a pool, and it's like a nice backyard. We also ruined it, so they also said no, and that was the last time we did this. And this is what I'm about to say is also probably the reason we didn't do it again. So we're doing sliding practice, and my dad notices that like I keep putting my hands down, which you're supposed to keep your hands up so that way you don't scratch them up and all that on the dirt. On a slip and slide, it's fine, but like, that's gonna hurt when you do it in real time. You might break your wrist. So my dad, in all of his glowing brain genius just thought, hands me my real ass red metal bat and goes, "Hold this above your head so that way you don't put your hands down." And I go, "Oh, okay, Dad." And this is how my memory goes. I'm running towards the slip and slide. My legs hit the slip and slide. I'm at the end of the slip and slide. I knocked myself out. Bat went straight into my noggin. I went limp like a noodle and just slid to the end of the slip and slide. And I came to very quickly. I was conscious again when my body stopped. And I just hear, "Sweetie, you gotta get out of the way, other people gotta go." And I was like,
Oh my God.
I was like, "Oh, okay." So I get up and I move around. My dad's like, you don't have to go again, it's okay." And I'm like, "Okay, Dad." And then I went and sat in the pool by myself for the entire rest of the time. And the thing
Possible concussion.
yeah. The thing is, no, like only a few people saw this happen. So I told this story to my sister, and she goes, "Oh, that's why you looked miserable." She's like, apparently at the time she sees me sitting in the pool by myself all sad, and she's like, "Why she look sad? She's at a friend's house, she's in the pool, she's having a good time. Why she look miserable?" It's because I probably gave myself a concussion, which is not the last time I've given myself a concussion, but that's between high school and college. That doesn't count for this stream. Another time maybe, but I have a track record of head injury.
I want to say the best part of this is the music I'm listening to. It started playing the Tetris theme through that whole story. It was perfect. It was beautiful.
Superb. Very fitting. Holy
Brilliant.
shit.
All right, Colin, your turn.
Um,
Surely you did more than just staple things to yourself.
when I was in 5th grade, I watched Back to the Future for the first time, and I was like, "Marty McFly is cool. I have an idea." So I jumped out of my mother's moving vehicle into the grass, trying to be cool. And all that happened was my mom yelled at me, and I was perfectly fine. I just got dirt on my jeans.
That's not the route I thought this was gonna take.
Oh my god.
Marty McFly's cool.
So I went back in time.
No, that reminds me. I guess I forgot about this too. I did something similar.
You made a time machine out of a DeLorean?
No,
Oh my God.
no, I belly flopped onto concrete.
Oh.
So they had the Peter Pan play on VHS when I was a kid. And I really liked the Peter Pan play more than the Disney movie. It was just a lot more entertaining and colorful, and the songs were better. And at one point, like, I saw them flying around the room, and it was live action. I was like, I want to do that. It's so cool. And the way they did it is they had to climb up on furniture, and then they jumped off, and they could fly. And I went, that's why I can't fly. I climbed a bookshelf. And I went, Mom, look, I can fly! Next thing I know, I'm on the ground and I'm crying, and my mom's like, why, Jax? Why? She's like, not even like consoling me, and I'm not blaming my mom because I wouldn't either, but she's just like, why? And I'm like, because in the movies. She's like, you know those are fake. And I'm like, I wanted to fly.
You just unlocked another memory for me. Oh my god. So I was a relatively I was a relatively active kid. And we had like these nice couches as kids. We still have them, but now they're old. But because that's how time works. And I was doing flips on them because I'm like, oh, I learned how to do flips, and I was just like, flipping onto them. And at some point, my dumb little walnut brain goes, what if I were to flip onto the floor? And the way I was doing it, I landed on my back every time I flipped. So, when I hit the floor, just, just like...
Yep.
I got the way that, I didn't know what that meant as a kid, but I was just told, oh, you got the wind knocked out of you. But I didn't tell anyone what happened. I just kind of was like, oh, I'm in pain, and I don't know what to do! And I just ran up to the closest parent. I didn't tell them that I flipped, I just said I fell. And they're just like, you got the wind knocked out of you.
God.
I was dumb.
It's gone. You unlocked everything for us.
Oh, God. Just as we talk, just more and more dumb things we do.
I was a lot less fearful when I was a child.
Most of us were.
Such as, I guess one of my older brothers, started building a tree fort in the backyard, and by that, I mean, just put a couple of planks of wood, just nailed a couple of planks of wood to an old tree in the backyard, and then it started to rain, and then he stopped, and then a couple of years went by, and he never went back to it. It's not like I got injured or anything, it's just, I would go up there frequently. It wasn't even a tree fort, it was like,
Really placed boards on a tree.
Just a few.
It was a cubicle.
It's a cubicle.
It was literally like planks of plywood.
The friendly neighborhood tree cubicle.
Now, it's planks of plywood that haven't been stained and have been out in the weather for a few years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, it was sturdy, but it was not safe to go up there.
That doesn't mean it's sturdy.
Doesn't mean it was
God.
safe.
Aren't I?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Gotta be something else dumb I did.
How are we all alive?
I mean, that's like to say for anybody.
I know, but just... I mean, I still have the rest of my list. Like, I only nailed 2 things from it, but still. How are we alive?
There's no way to get through your list, no offense.
No, I know.
You guys...
I over-prepared just in case.
See, you guys, the reason why I don't have as many, like, dumb stories, I know, neither of you are the, I know neither of you are, like, the youngest. Oh, right.
I'm the
Jax,
youngest.
You're the youngest, Jax. That is correct.
Kaz and Fishy are not.
Yeah, I'm the middle child.
Yes, you're Cass and Fishy, the middle child. I had 4 older siblings who were, like, 7+ years older than me. So whenever I would try to do something, it would always be one of my older siblings watching me that would go, like, don't do that. And I'd go, why? I did that when I was your age and Dad beat my ass. And I went, okay, I won't do that. So I
Yeah.
didn't do that.
That's a very much a similar situation for me, and I think that is the difference between why you and I don't have many stories as opposed to like
Yeah.
So
she.
it's like
But however, Kaz doesn't have a ton of stories either, from what they had mentioned.
the thing
Yeah.
is, me and my siblings, like, we're all 2 years apart, so we all we all grew up together. From what you
Of course,
all
yeah.
explained, you all had like significantly older siblings, so
Yes.
they had the wherewithal to be able to make sure you didn't die. If something happened to one of us, most likely it's gonna happen to all three of us. You know,
Yeah.
like my
Mhm.
here's something that happened to my brother.
I can tell so many stories about my siblings. My
Right?
siblings being stupid,
Right?
but that doesn't count.
I have a small aside about my brother, because
Mhm.
the dumb thing is that none of us were watching him, but we were in vacation in, I think it was Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and he wanders out to the ocean, and he is all by himself. Nobody knows where he is. It's nighttime, and he just goes down to the beach and steps into a sinkhole. And
Oh no!
he drops. He goes down fully. His head is underneath. And
I've seen videos like that.
yeah, he just disappears. And from what he told me, he just starts flailing until he starts swimming because he didn't know how to swim. And he just
Shit.
that's how he learned how to swim. He gets up and he walks back over, and actually
Almost
nothing happens.
drowning?
That he comes back to us and doesn't say anything to anyone, and the next day he's swimming perfectly, and we're all like, what happened?
Oh my
And
God.
he didn't tell us until we were in like high school, college.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Oh, you did remind me of two stories. Two stories. It counts because it was me, but I wasn't conscious for it. I was a dumb little baby brain.
Oh.
Dumb little toddler brain, I'll say. I like to go. I used to like to go on adventures. And by that I mean when I was old enough to walk. I'd go down the street. I'd just go down the hill. Bye bye. All the family looking around. Where's the baby? I am gone. I just left.
Goodbye.
Oh my god.
I am somewhere else. Apparently, there's like 3 stories of that where I would just leave. I would just leave the house and go somewhere else, and I'm literally like 3. And no one knows where I am until somebody points it out and then goes, "Where's the baby?" And then everyone freaks out, and then someone knocks on the door, one of the neighbors or something. Did somebody lose a child holding me? There was like something related to that. Yes, there's so like there was one time like yeah like this exactly that. I just wandered off, and we all call her Nanny. She's really like both of you come from large families. You know, if they're just a family friend or a distant relative, they're a cousin
Yes,
or something.
yes, correct.
So we all call her Nanny, but she's more like really like another grandmother. When she found out that I went missing, because apparently they called the whole fucking town, even though it's a very small hill. I couldn't have gone many places. There's a story that they tell where Nanny comes barreling up the hill in her car, leaving dust tracks. Because, I lived on like a dirt road, leaving dust tracks coming out. Where's the baby? Freaking out.
God.
Somebody lost the baby. Freaking out. And so that's funny. But the other story, you know how, there's like baby walkers? Like you have like a walker if you're like an old person, but to have them for babies to learn how to walk.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I had one of those. I guess my brother Brandon was supposed to be watching me. He wasn't. I was just wandering around. You know how they have those little like baby gates?
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was one leading into the basement. I am
Uh-oh.
uh an unstoppable force meets a movable object. Uh,
And a movable object, too.
there was a baby gate leading to the basement that is just stone, just bluestone, just a ton of bluestone.
Oh.
Oh my god.
I come through, just burst it down. The gate did not help. And according to my brother, right? He just hears, because he's like sitting in the living room, he just hears like behind him, dun, 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 dun.
I would shit myself. if
Me
I
going
heard that.
down the basement stairs. My brother's like, what happened? And he sees me. The way that the basement is, the way that my old basement was, we had like a spare fridge down there, you know, just to keep like leftovers or whatever, like anything extra. At the exact bottom of the stairs, how he found me was, I am at like a 90, not a 90, like a 75-degree angle, just between the last step of the stair and the fridge. Just at that angle, just, you know, like crying because I'm a baby and I just fell down the stairs in my walker.
Oh my god.
But if that fridge was not there, I would not be here.
Oh my god.
Yeah. My god.
Holy shit.
Would have been so much worse, though,
It's
if your
all-
brother came to the top of the stairs and you're just laughing. That would have been so much worse. 'Cause I
That-
mean, there's something wrong.
You unlocked another memory. Nothing. I can't remember anything specific, but I remember when I was, you know, again when I was littler, like 4 or 5, I would fall down. I would just laugh and get back up. No hurt, no crying, just ha 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 ha, ha, or, you know, baby like, and then just I'm up.
That seems very on brand for you.
Babies are malleable.
Yeah.
There's the phase you gotta watch him that my mother likes to call it the butter phase.
They're just
The
mean.
butter face?
Yeah, it's like, you know, you gotta wait for the butter to be out in the cold a little bit for it to harden, and, you know, it can kind of take care of itself. But you take butter right you take butter right out of the stick, you know, right after you get it, you drop it on the ground. What happens? Flat.
Okay.
It's the butter phase. You got to be careful.
Oh my god.
I've never heard that, but I love it.
Didn't
That's
that
what my
happen
mother
to you,
calls it.
Jax? You got pushed?
Okay, look, that was not me, though. That was not me. I wanted to play with my cousins. Long story short, I pretty much climbed into a treehouse at my cousin's house, and my cousins were a girl and a boy that were pretty much a year apart. So there was already animosity between the two. They were about 8, 9. So they're arguing in the tree, and I happen to climb up there, and I'm about 4. Everything happened at 4 for me. My God. But I climbed up at the tree. They're arguing, and I'm like, "Yay, I get to play with my cousins!" And I get shoved out of the tree. Next thing I know, I'm in a
No.
cast and it's not like a full cast. It's just like a cast to straighten my arm out. I didn't break it. It turned into an accordion.
Like out of a fucking
Yep.
cartoon.
Yep. You.
Yeah, because
I've heard
bones
that.
bones
Ooh.
at that age, because that's why I was like 3 or 4, are very malleable. Like, you can just like nee. Like, you can do origami with them. Please do not do origami with children's
don't
arms at the
actually.
age of 3 and 4, please.
Mhm.
But yeah, that happened. Again, not my fault. I wanted to climb up the tree and be a big girl.
I'm literally just imagine. I can hear the sound effect. Of,
You know, it's funny, but oh my god. Okay, so it's getting closer and closer to the end. You want to argue about this shirt debate?
Yeah, hold on. I want to rattle off, like, like one or two.
Shirt debate. Yeah, Fishy, go on. I was gonna say, Fishy,
yeah.
you tell more.
I was just gonna say because like everything we have listed has been injury related. I have a few that aren't. Like I have a few cute ones, like cute but dumb. Because when I asked my siblings about it, they were like, "Oh, there was this thing we did as kids," and I'm like, "Oh, that's really cute. I can talk about that." Like in our old house, they had this. You go up the stairs and immediately there was like this open, like I don't want to call it a balcony because you can go out it, but like there was this giant ass like no like glass behind it window that would let you look down at the living room. And because we could all see it and reach over it, we had this game where two of us would lie down like fucking anchovies in the living room. And then the other one would take every blanket we could find in the house and just throw them off the balcony and seeing how we could cover them like down at the bottom.
Oh, that's cute.
So just by the end of it, the person that was throwing down the blankets had to go uncover the other two siblings.
Oh man.
Like they're in an
That's
excavation. Great. It was cute. We did it all the damn time. We were like, "Oh, are we feeling it tonight? Yeah, let's do it tonight." And we'd throw down the pillows and blankets. Very cute.
That is very cute.
Yeah. And then the other one that I really wanted to make sure I mentioned was my dad. Again, my father's fault. He had this game that he called "Make Mommy Mad," and it's very self-explanatory. And he always won. But you know me. I'm a competitor. I like to win. So there was one time, I don't even remember what I said, but I won. And I was like, I did it. I won the game. I did it. Woohoo! I did, like, cool. Mom's mad. Oh no. And like this was before a softball game that I won. So afterwards we went to a like, you know, you go play your sport game and you go get the pizza afterwards. That's how you do it. We went to the pizza place and I'm like, "Ma, can I have some change to play in the arcade?" And she goes, "No." I asked her for so many things and she kept saying no. So eventually I just ran to my dad and I'm like, "She's not letting me have things." And he just goes, "Yeah, sweetie, this is why I always win. This is why I don't let you guys win." I was like, "Oh, I get it now. Okay, I understand. Alright, you can keep your crown. I don't want it anymore." And he didn't give me change either. I was just left, like, just eating my pizza sad that day because I messed up. And my siblings, the loving siblings that they are, made sure to point and laugh at me. As they do.
Yep.
Because I messed
wear that
up.
jester crown.
Yep. I messed up. You don't want to win, make mommy mad. That was the lesson I learned. My god. So we can get into the argument now. We're at 43 minutes on my end. We can get into it.
Shirt debate.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So, when I was younger, I want to say I was 6 or 7 at the time. Again, I was in Alabama visiting family, and we had gone to my Polish family or something. So my mom says. I've never seen these people since. We went on their farmland, we stayed with them and whatnot. They were either related to us or they were godparents of my mother or something. I have no idea. But we were there, and they had huge acreage. They had chickens, they had crops, you know, just your normal farm and whatnot. Well, they had 2 boys that were about my age, and my sister didn't really like playing with me. And my dad's kind of keeping an eye on me because I had a habit of wandering off, especially if there were animals. Like, I would be the type to go be like, "Oh, there's a dog in the forest," and follow a wolf into a forest. I would be that kid. So my dad kept an eye on me. Well, I guess he didn't keep a close enough eye on me because there were these boys that, you know, like I said, were my age, and they're running around, and they're just in jeans, running around. And I went, "Oh my god, it's so hot out here." Okay, and my dad is talking to, like, my mom or somebody else, so I yank off my shirt. I start running around with the boys. And I'm 6 or 7. Who cares? So I'm running around, and my dad stares at me, and he walks over, and he grabs me, and he's like, "You can't do that." And he puts the shirt back on me. And I'm like, why? And he's like, you're a girl, you have parts that, boys don't have. And I like look to the boys and I look to my chest and I'm like, we have the same chest. That is my argument. Actually, no, I have more to that argument, but that's just basically the story. I don't think it's stupid. I think the world is misogynistic and we can go around just as shirtless as men can.
Okay.
Hashtag free the nipple.
Free the nipple.
Exactly!
No.
Thank you, Colin! Thank you!
So, my story is a little similar in
Okay.
that I was at my cousin's house. And we don't know the timeline of who did it first, but my cousin and I just, for some reason, completely stripped and just started running around in the sprinklers. And we don't know who caused it, like why it happened and any of that, but
There's something in the water.
something in the water. My sister and his sister are standing off to the side going, what do we do? What is happening? What is going on? My uncle is on the phone next to like a window, so he in a minute will be able to see what's happening. He's talking to my father, just being like, yeah, the kids are great, because my parents were off on vacation or something, so I was staying with them. He's like, yeah, no, the kids are great, they're doing all right, they're just doing all this and this stuff, and then he turns to his left, and he looks outside, and he goes, yeah, I'm gonna have to call you back. No, the kids are fine, I'm gonna have to call you back. And he runs outside, and he's like, what are you doing? They tell this story to any and all new people that come into their house. Because it's a thing. But it's like, I would, like, so I'm saying that so I have, like, grounds to argue. I think that's dumb.
Why is it dumb?
That is a dumb thing. Because, like,
It's a child thing, and honestly, in Europe, children don't get swimsuits until about the age of, like, 6, 7, 8.
That's weird. Don't look at naked kids. That's weird.
Why are you looking at naked kids?
Because they're running around. You don't get a
Just-
choice. You don't
I'm
get a
just
choice in that.
saying.
Sometimes you're just like sitting there and you're on the beach and you look over and you're just like, oh, that's a naked kid. Absolutely disgusting.
Okay,
vile.
again, I wasn't
Hurt your
naked. I was
gaze.
just topless.
Still, you're able to see
No,
bits.
I
You're able
have-
to see bits. No.
Okay, cool. Then put the boys' shirts back on too.
Yes.
That is my argument.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm cool with that. Don't look at naked kids. It's gross.
I'm not saying look at naked kids. That is not the argument here. The argument is, was I in the wrong for the shirt? It
I
isn't
agree.
the
Yes,
argument
yes.
of me looking at the... No.
Yes, you are in the wrong for the shirt.
No.
Keep
I
kids, keep
7.
kids clothed. Keep kids clothed. I mean,
I respectfully disagree.
keep kids clothed.
Okay,
Disagree with
I agree
who?
with that.
Disagree with who?
You are not in the wrong, Jax.
Thank you.
Fuck, what the
Thank you.
fuck?
I am a
Listen.
child.
Here's the difference, Fissy. Here's
Okay.
the difference. One does not have a shirt. The other one has nothing.
Okay.
Exactly.
Still, okay. Even if it's just the shirt thing, okay.
If Jack
When do
Ja-
we
Jax is
stop-
like take top off. Okay, cool. The rest, no.
I still
Okay.
have my
Rest
pants on.
Okay, look.
You see,
To-
that's
to-
fine. That's good.
To keep it onto the shirt thing, when do they start? Okay, when do we stop letting them have the shirt off? What is the cutoff point? Because it's like, when they
It's usually
it's like,
the cutoff.
yeah, when it
Girls-
starts growing in. Okay, some grow late, some grow early.
Why do we have to hide them? Why are we shamed for them? Why can we not be shirtless like men are?
Hashtag free the nipple. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. Fucking exactly. That is where I stand on this. I'm not arguing the point of naked children. I'm arguing the point of I should just be as shirtless as any other dude.
Oh my god.
That's all I can say. I'm AMAB. I can't say anything else.
Yeah. That's my argument. I don't want to strip naked. You're in the wrong.
Bro, the titties are gonna get cold.
I'm Norwegian. I'll be fine.
Shirt. So you have to have them off. If you're cold, put on a shirt.
It's not like we're throwing the children
Yeah.
out into
No,
the snow.
I know at this point that I've lost. However, but their titties are gonna get cold.
I think what I love most about
listen,
this.
Fishy. When you're cold, what do?
You put on a jacket.
Okay, when it's hot, do you take the jacket off?
Okay, so fun fact, here in California, if you
Shut
take-
up! Shut up! Shut up! California doesn't
You
care!
asked! You asked! In California, if you take off the jacket when it gets warmer, your seat is weak. That's a real thing. I've had 7 people tell that to me throughout the course of my fucking life. They're like, "Oh, you're taking your jacket off, fucking weakling," and they're just like sitting there in a warm hoodie.
Fishy, you are right because you're letting Californians debate how you should live your life.
Yep.
This is paper straws.
Oh, fuck those paper straws. Paper straws are dumb. They're dumb than anything that I did as a goddamn child. Paper straws are stupid. My god.
This is interesting though. It is. We are in like the triangle of the U.S.
Yeah,
Yes.
we are.
Yes.
I'm
What
at
did
the
we-
top right, middle,
bottom
and then the
left.
rest.
And then the rest. Well, like Kaz and I are over here in Texas, so we're pretty much
Yeah.
one of the pinpoints.
Anchored.
have-
There's more.
We
Yeah.
have the top right, the bottom left, and then the center-ish.
Hmm
Good lord.
All across the U.S., baby.
Pretty much. I think what I love most about this though is Fishy was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring up the shirt story," and I'm sitting here going, "What shirt story?" And she had to remind me, and I got
Yeah.
mad about it. She's like, "Yeah, I've got a story to battle you on that." Like she was so proud, and I knew going into this that she wanted to have a debate, and she wanted somebody to tell her she was right, and I am relishing because I usually get outvoted by Fishy almost all the time.
Okay, I'll be real. I didn't think I was
What-
actually gonna win this argument.
But you seemed so sure when you were talking to me.
Well, yeah.
Now-
look, have you ever heard "fake it till you make it"? You know,
Not for you.
if I'm going
not
to,
for you.
if I, look,
not
look,
for
look,
you.
look, look, look,
Not
look,
for
listen,
you.
listen. Okay, so
Language cannot
if it's
say that
gonna-
on Twitch.
Can you say
we
that on
can't
Twitch?
say that on
Not
Twitch?
say on
Oh,
Twitch.
I didn't know that. Ah, okay. Shoot,
Ah, you
that's,
see that?
that is not on my list of words that I'm not supposed to say. That's my bad. Okay.
Swear to God, if you get my channel shut down,
Use
you
the
owe me.
Commodore.
It's okay.
You
It's
owe
gonna shut down
me.
my channel too, so we're good.
No, you still owe me.
Fair enough. But
It has been an honor.
Mrs. Obama, it's been an honor.
Mrs. Obama, it has been an honor.
I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
Good.
Okay, fair enough.
I win.
Yeah, I'll take the L. It's fine.
X wins.
Shoot.
So this podcast is now hashtag free the nipple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think yeah, okay, we can support that. That's fine. I think Cass would support it as well. Classic she-they
Yeah.
behavior.
Yeah. I think that's also what kind of led up to me being like, I'm gender fluid because I feel like both ends. I don't understand. So.
Mhm.
Yeah. Don't think I have any other stories. I know you have plenty of stories,
course I
Fishy.
do.
Colin, you have anything else?
Do I?
I have stories about dogs biting me, but it was all my fault, and I never blamed the dog.
I would consider that a dumb thing you did, but I think it
Oh,
begins and ends
that's
with
what I
that.
said. That's what I said. Is I just have a bunch of stories about me being dumb and me having a dog bite me because I wasn't listening. I never blamed the dog. It
That's
was me.
fair.
100% know it was my fault. Like I said earlier, I was that dumb kid. If I saw a wolf in the forest, I'd be like, dog, and then go to it.
Is there anything I did dumb in school?
Oh shit, school's a whole nother breed.
I have a funny one.
Call in if you can.
This isn't so much dumb, but I was cool and then it became not cool. I was playing around on the little jungle gym, And you know, when I was little, I could climb, I could do parkour. I was a little spider monkey. Uh, I leapt. I I looked both ways. I looked both ways before crossing the street. I I jumped off of like the top of the slide, and then this kid, his name was Dustin, immediately comes out of nowhere, and I fall directly on top of him.
Jesus Christ.
And we look at each other, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man." He's like, "Don't worry about it." And then he runs away, and then he runs, and then I kind of get up, dust myself off, and then one of the monitors, like, you know, one of like the lunch monitors, like looked at me and was like, "Why did you do that? Why did you assault that kid?" And I said, "I didn't mean to." And then another one of my friends dragged me away, and that was the end of the story. There was no conclusion.
Why were they trying to grill you if they saw what happened? It was an accident.
And they did not. Dustin did not mind. He's a cool kid.
He's a nice guy. God.
Playground stuff. Only thing I remember, and I don't even remember it that well. I was in
jumped off
preschool.
slides. I was a spider monkey. That's just it.
I was in preschool in a Catholic school, so we were mixed with a middle school. And so they would mix middle schoolers and like elementary kids to have lunch at the same time. Just kind of spread it all out. And I was a preschooler, and they were like, "Okay, time to go to recess after lunch." So I get up and I start going. Well, I guess the middle schoolers jumped up and started running, so everybody's running in the hallway, and there's this middle bar that's between the double doors. All I know is I saw that thing getting closer and closer, and then next thing I knew, I woke up at home in my bunk bed with a black eye. Don't think it was me being dumb. I could have waited for the big kids to go instead of trying to run with them. So it was like running with the bulls.
Man.
Some would equate that to being a bit dumb, running with the bulls.
Yeah.
But still,
Story?
you live and learn. Oh, so when I was in about 3rd grade, I talked
Should
to
this
my.
be the last one, by the way?
Oh yeah,
This
fine
is
with
the
that.
last
The
one.
hour.
This is a nice grand one-ish of dumb. So when I was in about 2nd or 3rd grade, these two quote unquote couples of kids decided that they wanted to hold a wedding for the couples.
Okay.
And the dumb part is the fact that I went to this. I went to the wedding. Because my cousin and I were actually talking about this recently. I'm like, "This was a thing, right? This happened?" And he's like, yeah, no, I remember I went. I was like, "Damn, me too." But they're like, "We're gonna hold a wedding." And they're like, "Okay, we're gonna invite everyone in our grade." So during recess, from the point of view of the supervisors, they just turn to the right, and on the baseball field, like little place where we play kickball and softball and all that, they just see like over 100 kids suddenly gathering in one spot. And they're like, "That's a fire hazard. What the fuck is going on?" And I'm sitting there amongst like the crowd, just blending in, you know, watching. They're prepping everything, and suddenly we see like 4 supervisors start to walk up. And I see one of the brides get really visibly upset because they know they know that those supervisors are about to come up and crash the wedding. And this was a good move on my part, but I kind of wish I stayed a little bit longer just to see the fallout. I saw those supervisors walk up and booked it. I ran. I was like, "Nope, I'm not taking the fall for you, dumb fucks," and I left. And I was not the only one. A lot of people saw the supervisors and, like, you know, like the fucking John Mulaney thing of just scatter! And that's what we did. My cousin did the same thing, apparently. He saw the supervisor and just went, "Nope," and we all just ran. And they had to make an announcement about it later of just like, "Hey, you guys can't do this. It is a safety hazard. Fucking stop, you dumb children. Please do not do this." It was great. I wish I had stayed a little longer just to see, like, you know, what happened.
You know, they lined the kids up, mug shots, you know,
Oh, yeah.
fingerprinted them.
Yeah, of course. Because, you know,
No,
Oh,
those
over
kids
the-
haven't seen. Those kids have been in jail ever since.
I have actually seen only one of them, like, after that. In terms of, like, you know,
Mike, yes.
school
Jail?
career,
They're
whatever.
they're incarcerated.
They could be. I don't know. I don't know
Ah.
where they ended up. Yeah, you know, making
Incarcerated. That's where.
they made an illegal fake wedding. So I mean,
I only know one kid in my school that I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up in jail, but he would also be the type to get himself out of jail.
I know a few that definitely went to jail.
Ah.
I definitely know a few.
But that's a whole nother other thing.
I have like I have the duality of some of them definitely ended up in jail, and at least one of them, like, you know, is very smart and successful. But you know, I got locked out of Facebook, so I can't check anymore.
Understandable. All right.
Is that where
Well,
we end
I
it?
think that is our time today.
Alrighty.
We need to actually figure out a real schedule.
It's just we need to stop having things come up last minute.
Trust me, I would love to tell the reason that keeps coming up for me to go away,
Oh,
but
I
that's
know,
not
I
really
know.
the thing.
We all it's no one's fault. We all just it's just life's happening.
Oh no, it's plenty of this person's fault, and I will
Oh,
stand
okay.
by that, but I end it here.
Okay, fair enough. I just don't want anyone to feel bad about just like, oh, I held things back, and it's like, no, just shit happens. It's fine.
Like I said, I'm only mad at mine.
Yeah, that's fair.
Say, Livy. We will see you guys next month. So you guys have a good one.
Yeah, see you guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.